want a Sunday kind of love. I don't want a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Hi guys, how are you doing? Trizah here. So guys, it's been a while. I haven't posted in a while. Last week I was actually supposed to post a video, but unfortunately I got busy. I was shooting an advert, so I wasn't able to was it last week? But last week actually, yes. I was shooting an advert, but I vlogged a little bit. I was supposed to edit, but I got so busy with work, so I haven't been able to like put anything out. But my friend gave me a brilliant idea, and I was like, this is a good idea. So she's like, Trizah, we're always sharing stories, me and my girls. Whenever we meet, like we share stories, the things we've been through, the experiences we've had. And she's like, why don't you put this on your YouTube channel? You have like some like interesting interesting stories. Like I've been through crazy stuff, good stuff, exciting things, nasty things, but this one, I think there's no guy or chick who has been on the face of this earth who has not yet gone through character development. So I decided, you know what, I'm gonna give my character development story while I show you guys my daily makeup. So usually when I'm going to, I rarely do makeup, but you know, when you're going to work, sometimes you don't want to like look fake. So, or when you're just going out somewhere and it's a Sunday, so the makeup is like basically like a bit minimal. Like on a Sunday, you don't like, on a normal day, like personally, I like it cool and just simple. So I had already like put on foundation. I was still putting on foundation. When I got the idea, like, you know what, let me tell this story. So I had my character development story once, and I think I've only had like 2 nasty experiences with guys. I was always like street smart, like you wouldn't play me, like nah, I wasn't that girl. So yeah, so, and I never really like had I never got myself into a relationship. I've actually, before I got married, I was only like in 2 serious relationships, of which one of them was not really serious. Yeah, so it was just one serious relationship, which gave me a character development. So sit back, because I'm drinking water, but the tea is hot. I'm going to try and summarize it as much as I can. Yeah, so that we don't spend like a whole 30 minutes here just talking about a character development story. Anyway, so I was in my first year, it's second semester, and there's this guy who had been like hitting on me for quite some time, ever since I was in like high school. He had been hitting on me. So I joined campus. Apparently this guy was dating someone, but he didn't tell me that he was dating someone. He told me that he had broken up with some chick, his ex. So we started dating. It was really nice. We dated for around 7 months. It was nice, but it was just problematic, because when we started dating, he then confessed to me that he broke up with his ex when I agreed to be his girlfriend. So he didn't like break up with her, stay single, and then start dating me. The moment I said yes to him, that's when he went and texted her and he's like, hey, I don't want to be with you. Because he had tried hitting on me for about 2 years, and so the moment I said yes, he's like, oh, finally. So, but this chick was crazy. This chick was from TZ, and if you know chicks from TZ, when it comes to relationship and guys, these chicks are nuts. So this chick was like, she just gave me a very nasty experience. I would wear clothes, and then she used to stop me. She was obsessed with this guy. She just couldn't move on with her life. I think for her world had come to an end, having, you know, had a guy broke up with her. She even attempted suicide. She's like swallowed a bunch of pills. And I remember I had even escorted my ex to go and see her. Very stupid idea. And she had, you know, attempted suicide. So one minute she would tell me how, you know, she's sorry for acting crazy and whatnot. Then the second day, I'm getting messages from her. She's calling me a crazy home wrecker. The third day, she's obsessed with this guy. She's doing like nasty things around the place. And we were all in campus meanwhile, but they were like a year ahead of me. So I think in her mind, she used to wonder, like, why, like, what is it that she has that I don't have? Or like, she just had her own issues. And I understand, man, because I mean, if you've been dating a guy and then he just breaks up with you on a text message, that's very, very uncouth. Now I know. By then, I didn't really care. Yeah, but I also like, yeah, if you want to go, you go. There are 7 billion people in the world, for crying out loud. You can't be obsessed about one person who hasn't even married you, and you're in campus, you have your whole life ahead of you. I don't even know why we used to get into relationships when you're in campus. Like, there's so much more to life. Anyway, so I did this guy for about 6 months. But during the relationship, there were those like red flags, like there are always red flags that tell you that something is not right. So one minute I would like get someone would text me, and then they'll be like, hey, I saw your ex. What was his name? Let me call him Peter. So they would be like, hey, I saw Peter somewhere, and he had told me that he had gone to another place. So I'm like, wait, he told me he's going to point A, someone is telling me they saw him at point B. And then I would ask him, he would be like, oh yeah, no, like my friend appeared abruptly, and then we found ourselves in point B. Or someone would tell me, I saw this chick fighting with your ex at point C. And then I would be like, yo, someone told me that there was like some dramatic scuffle between you and your ex. Like, what happened? Is like, this chick has been stalking me, and she found me there. I was cutting my hair with my friends, and then she started crying for me, begging me to take her back, telling me that she's going to give up everything in her life for me. What? And so I half believed him, because she also used to stalk me. So whenever he would tell me that she's stalking him, I would believe him, because she's stalking me, you get it? So nothing ever like, there were red flags that I really ignored. You know how we ignore red flags, and then later on, after you've like moved on, you just think about it and you're like, how could I have been so stupid? You know that there's that meme that usually says, have you ever looked back at your ex and thought to yourself, like, was I drunk the entire relationship? And the funny thing is, the guy was not even cute, but I think at that time he was cute to me when I started dating him. But before that, the reason why I didn't even date him for those 2 years, I didn't think he was my type. I didn't think he was cute or anything. I don't know how he even convinced me to date him. I really don't know how that happened. So after the 6 months, one time, after the 6 months, I was now going for my paper. I was doing international relations with political science. So one of my course unit papers was psychology. I actually did psychology, and I let someone play psychology on me. You can imagine. So I was going for my psychology paper, and just before I entered the exam room, I got text messages and images from a foreign number, because I had blocked this chick. I used to block her. Like every week I would block her, she would buy a new number. I would block her, she would buy a new line, or she would use her friends. Like, she just used to do the most. So I get like messages just as I'm going into the exam room, and I'm seeing a selfie of her with my ex in bed together in the house that he was staying in, that I knew of, because when we started dating, he shifted to a new place. So I'm looking at this picture, I'm like, wait a minute, like this is him and her. And I wasn't with him the previous night, because I was those kind of students who would read like for an exam 2 days before, and I would pass. So the day before I had my psychology paper, I decided I was going to like read through the entire night, and then go in the morning, do my paper, and I'm done. So the entire night I was reading, but was still texting with this guy. So we would text, and then I would go back, read for like an hour, take a 5-minute break, text, even call, like would call each other for 5 minutes, and then I would go back to read. So I knew the entire time that night he wasn't with someone, only for me to get these messages when I'm going into the exam room. So it really messed me up. Like, you're going into an exam and someone sends you a picture of your boyfriend or your husband in bed with them. Like, that would mess you up. Anyway, I got into the paper. The paper was 3 hours. The good thing with psychology papers, you never used to write. They used to be like choices, like what is the study of a human mind? So you pick A, B, C, or D. Yeah. So I just went into the exam room. I was so infuriated. Meanwhile, she sent those images, and then at the end she wrote, I enjoyed the night with your fiance. He wasn't my fiance, he was my boyfriend. I was in first year in campus, for crying out loud. So I just went into the exam room. You know you can't enter with your phone in an exam room. So I put it in my bag, put the bag in front. I went, I did that paper within 1 hour, 15 minutes. I finished that paper within 1 hour, 15 minutes. And I remember when I submitted the paper, the lecturer looked at me and he's like, young lady, are you okay? Like, did you read for this paper? Are you sure that the answers you've put are right? Shouldn't you take he was even willing. He's like, you should take your paper back, go through it, make sure you've written all the right answers. And I'm like, I'm done. I have finished the entire paper. Man, this guy looked at me. I think in his head he was thinking, this is one of those chicks who don't study for their exams, and yeah, she has just done what she can do and she has decided to just give up and move on. I kid you not, I got an 86% in that paper. I don't know if it was because of the anger that I had or it was just God, but I think it was just God, because you guy, 86%. I don't know how. Anyway, so I call. I'm trying to call my ex. I'm trying to call him, he's not picking. Then I call him again. This chick picks, and then she's like, young lady, your boyfriend is taking me. He's giving me a lift back. And I'm like, how did he link up with her? How is she with his phone? And just as she was talking and laughing like wickedly, he grabs the phone away from her. He's like, babe, it's not what you think. I'll explain everything later. This chick is crazy. I'll tell you. Then I'm like, I'm headed to your place right now. So he's like, okay, I'm on my way back. So he comes back after like 1.5 hours or close to 2 hours. And I'm like, nigga, what happened? And then he tells me, this chick came in the middle of the night at around 3 a.m. And then I'm like, this chick sent me pictures of you in bed with her. Like, what's going on? Then he's like, I swear I didn't sleep with this chick. She came, she said that she was so depressed. She wanted closure. She wanted us to just have one last talk, and she would never disturb me again. She won't disturb you again. She came at 3 a.m. I couldn't chase her away at 3 a.m. And you remember, babe, you told me that whenever a woman is crying, I should listen to them and try and calm them down. I'm like, nigga, I told you that about me. When I'm crying, you should calm me down, not any other woman. I don't care about her. She's not your girlfriend. You have no business trying to calm her down. If she comes in the middle of the night, man, tell the askari to take care of her. I was just infuriated. And I'm looking at this guy and I know this guy is lying. I point blank period know this guy is lying. But for some reason, some stupid, crazy reason, I still believed him. So he tells me that she came, they talked, and then I looked at this guy straight in the eye. I asked him, did you sleep with her? He's like, I did not sleep with her. I'm like, I'm looking at pictures of you in bed with her. This is your bedroom. And then he's like, no, that's Photoshop. Babe, Photoshop. Now, at that time, I didn't really know much about Photoshop, honestly speaking. So I was like, what is that? He's like, someone can use an iPhone and then they can manipulate the picture, and then it looks like, but this was actually a picture she took when we were still together. So she cut that bit of me and her, and then she manipulated the background to look like our room. I'm looking at this guy. I'm like, what is this guy talking about? This is 2015. So anyway, I even made him swear using the Good News Bible. Bam. God has suffered. Okay, he hasn't suffered, but the Bible has seen days. Yeah, the Bible has seen days. Sorry. Yeah. So I gave him the Bible. I'm like, I want you to swear before God that you didn't sleep with this chick. I kid you not, the guy looked at me straight in the eye and he swore he didn't sleep with this chick. Anyway, after that, I was now going back home. After the exams were done, it was time for me to go back home. So I don't know why, for some reason, when I was going back home, I could tell that this was the last time I was actually going to be with this guy in this way. And I remember breaking down. I legit broke down when this guy was escorting me to go and pick a bus back to Kenya. And I cried. I remember I cried so much. I was like, man, I'm going to miss you. It's going to be 1 whole month. I've never been away from you for this long. I broke down. Anyway, eventually I went to Kenya. 2-3 weeks later, I get a message from a new number. And it was this chick. And guess what? She sends me a pregnancy test and tells me, darling, your boyfriend is going to be my baby daddy. I just thought I should let you know. Yeah, that's what she sent me, with a pregnancy test that was positive. So at first I thought, this chick is just playing her mind game. So I text him, I'm like, man, this chick is sending me like pregnancy, what, she's saying that you're going to be her baby daddy. Then this guy is like, no, she's crazy, that chick, like, she's just crazy, you know her, she's just trying to make you mad, what. So when the holidays were over, I came back. I actually surprised him. I didn't tell him I was coming back. I just surprised him. I showed up at his place and I found him, and he was even smoking. He was smoking cigarette, and the house was so dirty, and he just looked stressed and unkempt. And I was like, dude, what's going on? Then I told him, you need to tell me the truth. Whatever it is, you need to tell me the truth. So he sits me on the bed, and then he's like, before I say anything, I want you to promise me that you'll never leave me. You'll never leave me. You'll never, like, we will get through any situation together. I'm like, nigga, like, what's going on? Let me call him. What did I call him? Peter. I called him Peter. Yeah, let's refer to him as Peter. So I'm like, Peter, like, what's going on? And then he's like, you need to first swear that you're never going to leave me no matter what. I'm like, I can't make you such a promise. You have to tell me, like, what's going on. Then he's like, things went really, really, like things took a turn for the worst when you left. What? Then I'm like, dude, just spit it out. Like, whatever it is, just tell me and we get it over with. Then he's like, you see that night when you came and after your paper and this chick had sent you like what? And then you asked me if we had slept together, and I tell you we hadn't. The truth is we actually slept together. Yeah, so I'm looking at this guy and I'm thinking, dude, like, you think I'm that stupid? Anyway, long story short, I really fell into like some sort of like small depression, like that heartbreak stress thing that goes on for like 3 days. I couldn't eat, I couldn't sleep, I couldn't think. I felt like my world had come to an end and I had lost the love of my life. And I would tell God, like, oh my gosh, if you can't bring him back, bring someone exactly like him. How stupid. And he tried to convince me, of course, to stay with him, because he kept saying, the baby is actually not mine. The baby could not be mine because she also slept with like my best friend. So I suggest, like, we stay together, we get through this. When the child is born, we're gonna do a DNA test. I've already spoken to my mom. We're gonna do a DNA test and to just verify if the child is mine. And if it's not, like, we continue with our relationship happy. Don't let like the devil come in the way of our relationship. Anyway, yeah, I was smarter than that. Like, yeah, I was stressed and I was heartbroken, but I wasn't, like, I had been stupid before. This was not the time for me to be stupid. So yeah, for like close to 3 days, I cried. Eventually, I just packed my things and I left him and I broke up with him and I forgot the memory that he even existed. And there are times when I would look back at my life for those 6 months and I would even tell myself, like, I wasted a whole 6 freaking months, like, with this very useless person. And man, I was so heartbroken, you guys. I was so heartbroken to a point whereby I would like, at the back of my mind, I was like, if I was not a Christian, I would go and I would bewitch this nigga. Thank God I'm a Christian. Thank God. Like, I had like all sorts of thoughts come to your head. The only thing I didn't think about was like ending my life. That is not something that would ever cross my mind because of that. And like her, I'm saying that because for her, she tried it. But nah, like, I went through all sorts of emotions, all sorts of it was not good. It was really not good. And I remember that time, I don't like this shade of red. I'm actually using it because my purple lipstick is done, but I don't really like this shade of red. I'm not a fan of red. I'm a fan of like dark colors, like purple, like that dark purple, that dark brown. Those are the colors I like. Red is not really my color. Yeah. Yeah, so that was that was my character development story. Happened in 2015. Yeah, it was not a good experience. I was stressed and depressed. I was stressed for a couple of months, I think like around 2-3 months. And then after that, I got over it. I met new people. I got serious with my faith in God. Actually, at that time, I met my current mentor, and he's the one who kind of like, he used to preach and minister to us, and he kind of like helped me to overcome that. And I was able to like move on, and yeah, started to live again, man. Life moves on. Of course, after that, someone else messed me up. I think in 2017, if I'm not wrong. Story for another day. I told you I've had 2 nasty experiences with guys. So the one in 2015 was the first. The second one was 2017. Never again did I ever let myself get into such a situation. Ever. Like, I actually prayed to God. I told God, like, if anyone comes and they're not meant to be with me like permanently, I don't want them. I'd like just keep them. And I was very, very particular, and I made sure every guy that I met, I would always ask God, like, am I supposed to be in this situation? Because I didn't want to be in a situation whereby someone like ends up breaking my heart again, and then you spend a whole 2, 3, 5, 8 months stressing over someone that really like doesn't even give a damn. And those guys, they've been living their life. And it happens to guys, like someone will mess you up, they'll go ahead to live their lives, but for you're in your house crying every single day, depressed and stressed, and asking God to bring them back. And man, it's like God is waiting for you to just move on, and he brings in someone much better, But yeah, that was my character development story. As you've heard, we've all gone through it. Anyway, I should apply this. Maybe I should. Yeah. Like, been there, done that. I usually look at campus students, and I'm thinking, and I see them like getting into serious relationships, and I'm thinking, man, there's so much more to life. You're gonna finish campus, you're gonna join like the workforce, you're going to get into the corporate world, and you're going to realize like life has so much more. There's so much more. There are other people out there that you will meet. You'll get new ambitions. Your priorities are going to change. Like, it's not the end of the world when someone of course, character development is very necessary, because after it happened to me, I became more cautious. I became more like sharp, and also I kind of matured up. I would say that it's important for everyone to have character development, like at least once in your life. Like, you need to grow up, man. It kind of like stirs up something in you to a point whereby for some people, they don't ever get themselves into such situations again. But there are some people who never learn, man. They go from one character development to another development of character. One after the other. You just keep going and going and going and going. But yeah, that was my story. And I thought I would share it. I think I'll keep sharing more of these stories. We can always have conversations. I would love to hear your character development story in brief. Like, just comment down below, or like inbox me on any of my social media pages. I also would like to have conversations about this, by the way, because character development happens not just like, there are people who are married and they're still having their character development moments. It doesn't just end like with it doesn't only happen before like you meet someone and you get married. It actually happens even to people who are married. I like watching Comrades Flavor, the channel, and you watch that channel and you see ile maneno inafanyika kwa streets, and it's not just like in Kenya, in Uganda, like it's everywhere. And man, like, yo, you have to have your guard up. You have to have your guard up. By the time I met my husband, I was so cautious, and I was so careful about the people that I would let into my life, because anytime someone will just and before you know it, you're calling son of Adam and daughter of Eve. Anyway, guys, thank you. I just decided today I was gonna vlog and tell my story. I don't know if you like, my makeup is usually like very basic. I also didn't manage to like style my baby hairs properly. Yeah, but it will pass. It's just like an easy day, not much to do. Yeah, so please comment down below, like my videos, subscribe to my channel. Let us have more conversations, and please tell me what you want me to talk about. Like, if you want me to tell any other stories, I have so many stories of so many things I've been through. And if you have like suggestions and you want to tell, like if you have something that you would want me to also share, please comment down below. Don't forget to share this video and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.